resolved objects. That is why Viral Papa described the truth as the subtle and mysterious power, not something that can be directly known, but only realized through deep meditation and reflection. That is why even the remembrance is still a distant reality for us. The chanting of whose name, no? When he says that the Atman is a subtle and mysterious power, nothing can be, we can hold on to understand this. Subtle means sukshmam, mysterious means it cannot be explained. And through the example, let us see. Just as ghee is the essence of milk, but remains unseen until the refining process is applied. The Atman is present but not immediately perceptible. Milk goes through various stages, curdling, churning into butter, and then being heated to become ghee. We all know milk spoils quickly, but ghee remains pure and long-lasting. But the moment we see the milk, we cannot see the ghee, nor any of its properties, the flavor and the taste, Please think over this. Similarly, a person immersed in sensory pressures cannot easily contemplate the formless infinite reality. Only through reflection and meditation does one gradually refine their understanding, just as milk transforms into ghee. True understanding comes through both knowledge and intense practice. Adi Shankara's Nirvana Shatkam emphasizes this by negating all that is perceptible. What remains is the self, that which is beyond words and thoughts. Thus, steady refinement of the mind is essential to experience the Atman, which cannot be directly known but only realized through spiritual discipline. I think this part is very, very clear to us. So when we react to events and individuals, Papa and Mataji have been telling us, when you see a person, in thus speaks Ramdas, whenever you see anybody, Papa here says, whenever you see anybody, you must see not only the external form, but also the indwelling reality. This is the true vision. This alone can free you from the sense of diversity, make you realize the unity and oneness of our existence. It is not merely in holy persons and places that you can see God, but in all, everywhere, even in the marketplace, you must always feel the divine presence in and about you. So this is unseen, When you see anybody, you see him as a person. But you must see not only the external form, but also the indwelling reality. That is the unseen. Milk and the ghee. So when we react to events and individuals, the normal life, what happens is we get stuck there, we don't see that. So that is why he said this remembrance, remembrance, remembrance. It's a tough job. Kleshodhi. Bhagavan himself says it is difficult because our mind is externalized. In Mataji's language, she says, Deha Buddhi. Now only we understand what she meant by Deha Buddhi. Is it the embodied one? Dehavadbhir avapyadehi. It is avyaktahi gadir dukkham. Dehavadbhir avapyadehi. Those who are embodied, it is very difficult for them to reach. Because embodied means Deha Buddhi. Embodied means not that we cannot do it. We are somehow riveted to this Deha Buddhi. Beyond that, only the starting point is our Deha Buddhi. That is why we are struggling. We know this. Intellectually we have understood. Our masters have told us, our scriptures have told us. We have also been trying in our own way. But the result is that we are as we are. Thus speaks Ramdas every Navedan we might be reading. Where Papa says you should not see the person. When you see somebody, don't see the person only. How can I see that? Unless I see him in me, how can I see him in others? So it is difficult. So now, what is the way out? Only through reflection and meditation. Process, some process. Just like the milk cannot give us the ghee. If it remains as milk. And the milk will get spoiled also after 24 hours. Even after a few hours. But when we try to get the ghee from it, the ghee stays for a longer time. And it adds quality to, flavor and taste to everything. Even if we don't add, that itself is very, very nourishing. So let us start thinking about the milk and the ghee, that process. We still don't know how the process got started. Because what we do for the in the milk, we pour some buttermilk. But buttermilk is a byproduct of milk, So who would, before the first buttermilk was not there, how it would have happened? Shanmugaji was telling, probably, somebody would have given a lemon. And somebody out of curiosity, the knowingly or unknowingly, the juice must have gone into this milk. Then the milk turned into curd. Something like that. You have to pursue, inform. Later on, nowadays what we do, we apply a little buttermilk. That milk converts into the curd, then the churning goes on, the butter is formed, then the buttermilk is separated, and this is again heated. When the water content goes, the aroma goes. We have done this coconut oil also. From the coconut, the grated coconut. How God has kept the oil inside, without when you break open the coconut, when you grate it, when you eat it, you don't have any idea about the coconut oil. But when it is set to a certain process, where all other things are removed, and that what remains is only the coconut oil. Just like milk, everything is removed, only ghee remains. Please think about it. Very deep. Nowadays we feel Bhagavad Gita is entering into all departments of life. Makes us to go deep. Some instrumental cause is there, like one word. Greater is their trouble whose minds are set on the unmanifested. For the goal, the unmanifested, is very hard for the embodied to reach. So our title can be this: realize the absolute in the unseen, not in the seen. We cannot be seen in the milk. Coconut oil cannot be seen in the coconut. Till oil cannot be seen in the till. Mustard oil cannot be seen in the mustard. But when it is subject to a process, here we take it that process means reflecting and meditating. So yesterday's remembrance, today God is giving the process. Because when once the process gets set in, we have been assured that it becomes a part of our life. And in this connection, suddenly, the Papa took us to the Nirvana Shalom. Just like, we were unable to see the ghee in the milk, we cannot see the unseen in the seen. We see it as in our own body, mind, intellect, and our connection with the world outside. We are unable to see God. Why? So Nirvana Shakam answers. Adi Shankara composed Nirvana Shakam as a direct expression of Advaita Vedanta's truth. You are not the body or mind, but pure changeless consciousness. The 6 verse composition refines our perception by dissolving false identifications and revealing the eternal self. Each verse acts as a tool for deep self-inquiry and transformation. Verse number 1, I am not the body. Everybody knows, Manobuddhi Ahankara Chittani Naham. So, not the body or mind. And reflection application, we are trying. When negative thoughts arise, pause and ask, who is thinking? If someone insults you, recognize it is my ego that feels hurt, not me, my real self. Daily practice, take a few moments to detach from thoughts and simply observe awareness itself. And second verse, I am beyond actions and attachments. Reflection and application. When overwhelmed by work or duties, remind yourself, I am not the doer. I am the witness behind the actions. Say, I am tired. Immediately I am not the doer. These are some clues given. If faced with the loss or pain, observe, these belong to the body, not to my eternal nature. Daily practice, reflect on how attachment causes suffering and mentally step back from them. Because Papa has been reminding reminding us that our in-depth study of Bhagavad Gita is not for textual excellence, academic excellence. We are trying to get something practical, that will help us in our day-to-day life, refining our mind so that we will be able to effectively deal with men and matters. So that is why we will again go through time permits here. And verse number 3, I am beyond emotions. If someone criticizes you, observe. It is only words. I am beyond approval or rejection. When desires create restlessness, affirm, I lack nothing, I am already complete. Detach from emotional reactions and witness them as passing waves. These are something which we can try every day, not simply hearing and going. I am beyond birth and death, reflection. If you worry about loss, recall, that which is born will die, but my true self remains unchanged. When feeling lonely or dependent, affirm, my real nature is the whole, I am complete, whole. I am not alone. You are there with me in the form of creation outside. You are there with me in the form of consciousness, life force and intelligence within me. Daily practice, meditate on the formless self beyond birth and death. Verse number 5, I am beyond suffering. If guilt or regret troubles you, recognize the past is an illusion. Myself is ever pure. When faced with emotional pain, ask, who is suffering? The body or the unshapen self? Daily practice, observe how suffering lessens when you stop identifying with it. And when he removed everything through these 5 verses, whatever is knowable, what remains is that. But again, Adi Shankara makes just like we say Atman Brahman, he also says some positive assertions. Negation followed by assertion. I am pure awareness, I am Shiva, reflection. If ego arises, remind yourself, I am not the small identity, I am the boundless self. When seeking happiness externally, realize, I am bliss itself, joy is my nature. Daily practice, repeat Shivoham and feel your presence expand beyond the body and mind. Thus the Nirvana Shargam is a step-by-step refinement of the mind, dissolving the me and mind until only pure awareness remains. When we leave these teachings, our thoughts, our words and actions naturally align with peace and joy for all. In other words, you are not the body or the mind. Let go of identifications and you will find the self that has always been free. Now you see how Papa is guiding us. 12th chapter, 5th stanza. When he says that it is difficult for ordinary people to understand the unmanifested. And when we do this reflection, how does it help me in my day? Immediately after the program, we are one with the society, one with family, one with our field of employment, field of society. So here is the answer. First he gives us the example of ghee and milk and ghee. The unmanifest is there, though not manifested. superficial level, we will never be able to understand. That is the meaning of the slogan. Klesham. Greater is their trouble, Klesham, whose minds are set on the unmanifested. For the goal, the unmanifested, is very hard for the embodied to reach. Here the word embodied stands for Deha Buddhi. When we are looking at the superficial level, surface level, we will not be able to. Because here some clue is given. Realize the absolute in the unseen, not in the seen. Absolute in everything. Whether you call it as love, truth, selflessness, efficiency. In anything and everything we can see the unseen, provided we do the necessary reflection, and it automatically comes to us. So now what do we do? That has been brought out through the shut devotion. Every time we are subjected to go through trying moments, these assertions will definitely help to some extent, definitely. Once again we will go through, it is very subjective. Krishna explains why it is difficult for embodied beings to realize the Atman. The unmanifested is beyond perception, beyond thought, beyond expression, making it hard for the mind to grasp. The mind can hold on to what is knowable, whereas the Atman is the very subject that perceives all objects. That which the eyes see, which cannot be seen with the eyes. Because it is the very subject. All other things are objects. So Beloved Papa describes truth as subtle and mystery. Now we might be able to understand it in a better way. Why did he name it as subtle and mysterious power? Not something that can be directly known, but only realized through deep meditation and reflection. That is why he insisted that we should bring the attributes along with our chanting. Attributes, not merely repetition, because it has to come out of our reflection. Just as ghee is the essence of milk, but remains unseen until a refining process is applied. The Atman is present but not immediately perceptible. Milk goes through various stages, curdling, churning into butter, and then being heated to become ghee. Milk spoils quickly, but ghee remains pure and long-lasting. Similarly, a person immersed in sensory pleasures cannot easily contemplate the formless, the infinite reality. Only through reflection and meditation does one gradually refine their understanding, just as milk transforms into ghee. True understanding comes through both knowledge and intense practice. Somebody should tell us, that you can have ghee from the milk. That is knowledge. When we were children, we used to see mother doing it and we ask, what are you doing? And Mother said, every day you are taking buttermilk, where from it comes? Oh. And she makes us to do the churning also. So we see, we have direct knowledge of the curd, we have seen the milk, we have seen the curd, we only know only in the night we pour some buttermilk, early morning it becomes curd. The transformation of milk from milk to buttermilk. Milk to curd. And then we do the churning, traditional way of churning. And the butter is formed. When the butter is removed from the curd, it becomes buttermilk. And then again it is heated. Then the whole room is full of that flame. So true understanding comes through both knowledge and intense practice. Adi Shankara's Nirvana Shilkam emphasizes this by negating all that is perceptible. What remains is the self, that which is beyond words and thought. Thus, steady refinement of the mind is essential to experience the Atman, which cannot be directly known but only realized through spiritual discipline. Now, for the actual life, Adi Shankara composed Nirvana Shilkam as a direct expression of Advaita Vedanta's truth. Because in every shloka, he says whatever is known is brought here. Manobuddhi ahankara chittani naham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumi na tejo na vayu chitananda rupam shivoham shivoham. So when we keep on thinking about it, some reflection. When negative thoughts arise in us, pause and ask, who is thinking? Where from it comes? If someone insults you, recognize it is my ego that feels hurt, not my real self. Because there is a constant effort on our part to assert our real nature, not the protected, identified individuality. Daily practice, take a few moments to detach from thoughts and simply observe awareness itself. Verse number 2. Na punyam, na papam, na saukyam, na dukkham, na mantram, na tirtham, na vedam, na yajnam. Aham bhojanam neva bhojyam na bhokta chitananda shivoham shivoham. Overwhelmed by work. No, how does it relate to our life? By duties. Na punyam na papa. I am not involved in anything. Oh, when overwhelmed by work or duties, remind yourself, I am not the doer. I am the witness behind the action. If faced with loss or pain, observe. Na saukyam na dukkham. These belong to the body, not to my eternal nature. Reflect on how attachment caused suffering and mentally step back from them. These are daily practice, we try. Just like everything, when we started trying, we did not get it. But our perseverance, our commitment, our resolve, that ultimately made us to get over that. The practice yielded its desired result. Then, Name Dvesha Ragau, Name Lubhamoho, Madhoneva Meneva Matsalya Bhava, Na Dharmam, Na Jatam, Na Kamam, Na Moksham, Chidananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham. If someone criticizes you, observe it. It is only words. me dvesha rago. I am beyond approval or rejection. When desire creates restlessness, affirm, I am nothing. I lack nothing, sorry. I lack nothing. I am already complete, full. Daily practice, detach from emotional reactions and witness them as passing waves. Even this will pass away. And four, न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पितानैव मेनैव माता न जन्म न बन्धु न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्य चिदानन्दरूपं शिवोऽहं शिवो. If you worry about loss, recall, that which is born will die into somebody. न मे मृत्यु शङ्का. But my true nature self remains unchanged. When feeling lonely or dependent, affirm, my real nature is the whole and complete. Daily practice is meditate on the formless self beyond birth and death. Then I am beyond suffering. What is the slogan? Anybody remember the fifth one? If guilt or regret troubles you, recognize the past is an illusion, myself is ever pure. When faced with emotional pain, ask who is suffering, body or the unshaken self. Daily practice, observe how suffering lessens when you stop identifying with it.
अहम निर्विकल्पो स्वामी जी. अहम निर्विकल्पो निराकार रूपो.
Nirakara. No, that is the last one, you know.
Yes, Swami.
Fifth one.
न मृत्युं न शंका न मे जाति भेद.
न मृत्यु
न मृत्युं न शंका.
And the second year. What is that? Just before Aham Nirvikalpa.
न मृत्यु न शंका
That is already gone.
नैव मेनैव माता न जन्म. चिदानन्दरूपं
न मृत्युं न शंका न मे जाति भेदः पिता नैव मेनैव माता. स्वामी जी,
That is over. न बंधु न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्य चिदानन्दरूपं शिवोऽहं शिवो.
After that, Swamiji, next is sixth one is there. Aham Nirvikalpo.
Aham Nirvikalpa is the last one. I am talking about here. The order may be different. Each
न मे मृत्यु शंका न मे जाति भेदा पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म. Swamiji, after that the verse sixth one is aham nirvikalpo. The sixth is aham nirvikalpo.
Aham Nirvikalpo, Swamiji. Sixth one.
Yeah, share it, Swamiji. One second, I'll
Aham
share it.
Nirvikalpa. See, Aham Nirvikalpa.
I'll share it, Swamiji.
न मे द्वेष रागो न मे लोभो.
It is all over.
Oh, it's not allowing you.
न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं.
That is verse 4. See, first one is na manobuddhi ahankara, then second is na cha prana sanghyo.
Okay,
Then the third is na me dvesha ragav. Then fourth is na punyam na papam. Then the fifth is na me mrityu shanka na me jati veda pita naiva me naiva mata na janma na bandhu na mitra na guru naiva shishya chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Then final one is aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa vibhutvacha sarvatra sarvendriyana.
So then finally the assertion comes, I am pure awareness, I am Shiva. If ego arises, remind yourself, I am not this small identity, I am the boundless self. When seeking happiness externally, realize, I am bliss itself, joy is my nature. Daily practice, repeat Shivoham. Feel your presence, expand. Feel your presence expand beyond the body and the mind. Thus the nirvana shall come is a step-by-step refinement of the mind, dissolving the me and mine until only pure awareness remains. When we achieve these teachings, our thoughts, words and actions naturally align with peace and joy for all. In other words, you are not the body or the mind. Let go of identification. You will find the self that has always been there. So this particular 12.5, I request all of you to kindly think deeply, because the example is very known to us. As you take coconut oil or ghee, that's a process. So anything that we look at will not reveal the unmanifested. We have to do the plumbing. Only when I try to develop the common denominator, I'll be able to love all, I'll be able to feel I feel free from the sense of otherness. These are all called the refining, factors. So through one shloka, 12.5, we are taken to a different realm. I have to go to the different realm. Anybody would like to say anything?
Now you can speak. Okay. Speak.
Eh?
Swamiji, this mother is asking, yes, come tell.
Eh?
To get rid of me and mine.
Is it the same as peeling the onion?
Is it the same as peeling the onion? Peeling the onion.
But while we peel out the onion, nothing is there,
That's what she wants.
Here, from the milk, we get the ghee, The unmanifested, that sloka says, unmanifested, journey from the manifested to the unmanifested. All of us get stuck with the manifested, what is at the surface level. But when we try to go deep within, it is not that there is nothingness, it is fullness. The onion example is okay. For the identified ego is not there. That in that way you can say it is nothing is there when we keep on peeling it out.
Can we take it as void, please?
Void. Yeah.
Void.
Yeah. When we remove everything from the room, is the void, space. But you can't say nothing is there. Nothing of what we have known as knowable. That is why this particular stanza says, Deha Buddhi, so long as we identify from our individual level, it is very difficult to see the unmanifested. Here when he says Deha, embodied is not that all of us are embodied. Even the realized souls are embodied. But they were able to realize, So that means it is not merely the body, the Deha Buddhi. When we are in a position to transcend the Deha Buddhi, so how can we do that? Only by reflection. Manana. And in the Bhakti Marg, it is the devotion helps us to see Him in everything. Whichever suits us, we have to choose. Bhagavan is giving everything. When we go for a walk, we see number of trees, number of plants, number of things, Each and everything, suppose we try to train our mind. The unmanifest through the unmanifest is we are trying to realize or feel the unmanifest through the manifest. So when we do that, it's called manana. It is not merely seeing the outer form and keeping quiet. So this particular 12th chapter, 5th sloka directs our attention. It is difficult for the ordinary people like us, who are immersed in worldly affairs, who cannot think beyond that what is seen. It is difficult. Kleshodhi, that's why he said, it is kleshagram. It is difficult. So now in small things we try to recognize this. The unmanifest is there, the manifest is there. The unmanifest is there, the manifest is there. We can only realize, we cannot see it. A very, very important aspect in our spiritual journey. We try to realize, but it's difficult. Greater is the trouble whose minds are set on the unmanifested. For the goal, the unmanifested, is very hard for the embodied to reach. Krishna explains why it is difficult for embodied beings to realize the unmanifested. The unmanifested is beyond perception, beyond thought, beyond expression, making it hard for the mind to grasp. The mind can only hold on to what is knowable. Here it is the very subject, The subject, when it gets in touch with an object or a situation, then that is the knowable field. We know it. Somebody says, you read, you see, then you know it. But here, the seeing principle, the thinking principle, you see. Subject. That is why it is very difficult. And now we understand that is why Papa named Ram as the subtle and mysterious power. The great void.
Swamiji, like something once again.
Yesterday it is.
What is the use of banana if it is out of reach? What is the use of banana? Why?
What is the role?
Yeah?
So what is the use of
She want to know
Ah.
what if this self is not to be known. So what is the use of manana?
Manana.
Yeah. What is the
Manana,
purpose of manana?
only through manana we can go near that, no? We can feel it.
Only through manana, which Swamiji says, we can go nearer to that.
Otherwise we cannot. You just imagine somebody saw the milk. But he did something, God prompted him, God provided him through the intelligence. He did not stop with the milk. Anything else can be done. It would have become a curd without doing. What is it that made the milk to become curd? And again, manana, they are not stopping there. Again, a researching mind, a probing mind, inquiring mind. Curious.
Swamiji, yesterday I have seen in one particular cell that one Swamiji, Nagabhushan Swamiji, gets immersed with the wall, not to be seen immediately. How is it? Manifested, but at the same time unmanifested.
Manifested?
At the same time gets unmanifested. How is it? A form goes with the wall and disappears.
Unmanifested is, you can say, the electricity is unmanifest, but light is manifest.
That is true, but not a human form. Even though maybe it is sannyasi or maybe an elected person, and at the same time, how the form can go and get immersed in the wall. Not to be seen.
You have to do the manana only. Only through manana the answer can come.
I see.
We sit, we try to go to the thoughts, we try to watch our thoughts, and then suddenly we will realize, we will not be able to say it. Where from the thought comes, it is unmanifest. Thoughts manifest, words manifest, action manifest. But behind all these things, what is that? So that is why Papa has been hammering, while we do Ramnam. How was he able to do it in such a short time? Because he was not merely chanting. Concentrated meditation, that is manana. So that means he was trying to understand whose name he was chanting. All these help us to improve our quality of chanting. To know Ram, the subtle and mysterious power. We don't get stuck with anything else. As he said, our hold on Ramnam is very firm, and we should try to know how to improve and how to make use of the Ramnam to feel his presence within. It should be very clear, otherwise we may not reach anywhere. This Bhagavad Gita in the study is only one of the factors that God is giving us to make our Ramnam more and more effective. So all these things should zero to that. Not elegant, not separate.
Swamiji, our Punja Satya Sai, getting vibhuti or linga, how is it to be taken for granted? Is it unmanifested or manifested?
Satya Sai Baba, Swamiji is talking
Why
about
concentrate on all those aspects?
Hmm?
Why concentrate on all those aspects? Now we are clear with one line of thinking,
Yes.
God must have some purpose in that. We don't know that. You might not be remembering in mid-60s. Back exactly remember, once Satya Sai Baba came to inaugurate Swami Chinmayanandaji's Kedarnath, we were all there in the handloom grounds.
Yes.
And at that time, after the inauguration, Puja Swamiji, we were about 20-30 volunteers. So Swamiji said, if you are interested for a private audience with Baba, I can arrange. We were all enthused and we were, I think it is Nugambakam some house, and we were there, 20-30 people. And Baba was leading bhajan, and he talked to us in Telugu mixed Tamil, or Tamil mixed Telugu. We were able to understand to some extent. And then finally some of us friends, asked for vibhuti. Immediately Baba looked at them and told them, you people are asking vibhuti. Swami Chinmayanandaji, others I can understand. You are trying to understand the indwelling or pervading reality, and your entire attention is to move towards that. All these things will not help. Then our friend said, those philosophy we know Baba, but we want vibhuti. And finally he smiled and gave vibhuti. We were all there, witnessed. So at that time, the message was very clear to us. Luckily, we have been initiated into this line of thought. We will not mix it up. Those who want it, he is giving, that's all. Or he gave. But he specifically said, we have heard it from his mouth directly, that ultimately what should help you is to know him within. That's why we said we are not going into the rights and wrongs of others. We are very clear about the goal to be achieved. He is with us, he has been with us. We have to become aware of him. And for that we have to remember him. For remembering him, we have been given Ramna. So Ramna, remembrance, and then to become aware that he is with us, he has been with us. And to see him in everybody. Actually, the three things you remember. Anybody remembers the three things? Anybody remembers? This is the problem.
Actions soaked in selflessness. Actions.
We are not noting it down for Navarana,
No, I have noted it down. Wait a minute, Swami, I'll get it.
All his actions
Soaked in.
All his actions soaked in selflessness, all his thoughts flavored with love, all his feelings matured in kindness. So this is what we want through Ramna. When we remember him, when we know that he is with us, he has been with us, how does it express? All our actions will be soaked in selflessness, all our thoughts flavored with love, all our feelings matured in kindness. So this is very clear now. We will not go this way or that way. Umpteen number of paths are there, umpteen number of approaches are there, but we are now very clear about it.
So this is the confirmatory test, Swamiji. This is the confirmatory test that is have done enough Ramna. I have all these three.
Yeah. Please keep on thinking. Let us see what he brings it out tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Hari Om.